We are
Good
live now.
afternoon, everyone. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's auspicious occasion, and this is the inaugural session of Biz Quiz, and now called Curiosity of 2020. Well, we are honored to have dignitaries with us, people who have made a mark in their life. Honorable Chief Guest of the occasion, uh, Mr. Vishnu, Ambassador Vishnu Prakash, uh, uh, our mentor, friend, and guide, Mr. Vivek Atre, Professor Atul Khosla, the Pro Vice Chancellor of Shulani University, Professor Nitin Gupta, Professor Amar Rao. Welcome all of you to this inaugural session of Curiosity 2020. Well, uh, these are rare occasions when people like Ambassador Vishnu Prakash, like people like Mr. Vivek Atre, and people like Atul Khosla, you get a chance to meet them and you get a chance to listen to them. Well, Curiosity inauguration would broadly start with blessings from their side. Uh, I'll quickly talk about our guest, our chief guest of the occasion, Ambassador Vishnu Prakash, is the next envoy ambassador to Canada and South Korea, Foreign Office spokesman, and now Foreign Affairs analyst, author, speaker, and TV panelist. He has a large number of accolades. He served as ambassador, high commissioner to South Korea and Canada, Foreign Office spokesperson. He was consul to Shanghai, diplomat 1981 batch, Indian Foreign Services with over 35 years of experience. He served in USA, Russia, China, Japan, Pakistan, and Egypt, and is a specialist on Asia. He is also from 1980 badge of Customs and Excise, the IRS, and now economist, author, and advisor, and foreign affairs, TV expert, panelist, speakers, and at the same time, a think tank. He also knows Russians. Thank you so much, sir, for giving your consent to join us and to bless the occasion. I'm sure the students would have something to learn and something which will be with them for life once they listen to your words. I'm honored also to welcome Mr. Vivek Atre. And Vivek Atre, as I shared, is a friend, he's a mentor, he's a guide, and a wonderful speaker. He's an ex-IAS, given 8 TEDx talks, a top motivational public speaker with more than 25 lakh views. And he's a former director, industries and IT, is a motivational speaker, author, written some interesting books, a mentor, advisor, columnist, and a visiting professor. Well, he's one of those rare people who resigned from the Indian Administrative Services in 2017. And after that, he wanted to give back to the society. And as of now, he has written so many books, and he's also founder of Suvichar think tank. He's visiting professor, and we are delighted to say that he is visiting professor at Shulani University. He's member of CSR Advisory Board of ActionAid. He's also a founder of Vibrant Networking Forum Chandigarh Literary Society, co-convener of Intact Chandigarh, and is also a member of Governors Advisory Council for Chandigarh of UT. Thank you so much, Vivek, sir, for joining us and to spare your time for encouraging the students, the participants who will be joining in this quiz.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Atul, sir, for joining us. Again, Professor Atul Khosla, a teacher, social entrepreneur, educationist, is a founder and pro vice chancellor at Shulani University. And he's also the Dean of Faculty of Management Sciences and Liberal Arts, the department which is somewhere organizing the whole event along with the students' outreach team. Professor Atul is a BTech from Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, an MBA from Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Sciences, Mumbai. Well, he started his career with McKinsey, one of the organizations which anybody can dream of joining, and the world-leading consulting firm. In the last 23 years as a consultant, he has advised clients in India, Asia, North America, Europe, and Australia. Prior to joining Shulani, Professor Atul was India's CEO and global partner at Oliver Wyman, a leading international consulting firm. Again, a very, very prestigious organization. He has been senior group director and founder of Everest Group's business in India and Asia. Subsequently, he moved to Switzerland, where he helped build A-Connect into a global consulting business. Professor Atul, like Mr. Vivek Atre, he left his corporate job at Oliver Wyman, and 7 years ago, he joined Shulini University to pursue his dreams to give back to the community by building a world-class university. He also advises several Indian global organizations on issues of strategy, operations, and innovations. As independent director with Gabriel India, senior advisor to Ankur Capital, and many, many other leading organizations. Something very interesting that he recently did was he recently co-founded Adu, a edutech startup with aspiration to bring high tech to Indian higher education. Well, thank you so much, Ambassador Vishnu Prakash, Mr. Vivek Atre, and Professor Atul Khosla for joining us. It is an auspicious occasion, and I think with your blessings, you are adding a lot of flavor to the whole occasion. Well, students, teachers, faculty, head of the department, faculty from Shulni University, and principals from various schools, and team which is organizing this. A great day, a great beginning. The world seems to have come to a halt, and that's where Shulni never stops. And we were just contemplating what we started 11 years ago. How can that still be continued in spite of the COVID situation, in spite of where we can't uh, bring the students and the teams to the institution and organize the quiz in the same way as we have always done since last so many years. Well, the history of quiz, which is now called Curiosity, was one called Business Quiz. It was started in 2011, and that's where since then, every year, more than 120 schools have been participating in this quiz each year. And October has been the season when this quiz was organized at the school level and at the university level. We all have our fond memories. It's nostalgic for us when we think about quiz. And I'm sure it's nostalgic for a lot of schools, principals, teams, and students who have been part of this quiz and who have made it successful over these years. Well, BizQuiz is something which is now called Curiosity. And a slight augmentation which has been done to this is beyond students from commerce, it has now gone to entire spectrum of students from sciences and other departments. Let's see some of the glimpses as to how the quiz used to happen somewhere in the recent past. Amasa, if you can show the presentation. And that's where you see, this is something which was live there each year in one of the auditoriums of the Shulini University. You can see some leading quiz masters. You can see Vivek sir guiding us in the quiz. And at the same time, there are more than 100 to 120 120 schools which have been participating in BizQuiz each year. Well, again, St. Luke's was the team which won the BizQuiz last year. And more than that, they got the trophy permanently because for consecutive 3 years, they have been winning the trophy and taking it to their school. Well, Curiosity, as we say, this year has been taken to the next level. This year, more than 220 schools are participating from almost all the states of this vast nation. Well, we thank all the principals, we thank all the students, we thank all our team members who have made it successful, and that's where we are talking today, although not face to face, but of course, online and starting and continuing the journey that we had. May the best team win. That's what is the message from all of us. Well, with this short introduction of BizQuiz, I request Professor Atul Khosla, the Pro Vice Chancellor, to share his words and kindly give some message to the teams which are participating in the quiz. Over to you, Atul sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Roje. I hope I'm audible. It's a pleasure, students, to speak to all of you today. And we have Ambassador Vishnu with us, who's going to take us through his journey and why he believes such events are so exciting and so important. So I'm not going to speak too much, but I have 3 thoughts for all of you. But before I talk about my 3 thoughts, I go back probably 40 years when I remember I used to quiz and I got into quizzing. My school teacher and my father presented me 2 different books on quizzing. And that changed my life because I became a quizzer. Quizzing is something absolutely phenomenal. It's something absolutely phenomenal because it's very exciting, but more importantly, you learn so much about the world. It's not just about science or arts or commerce or all the usual things that you learn in school. It's about music, it's about art. I learned art and music, for example, when I was quizzing. I used to listen to music because there used to be something called quiz time on television in those days. And they would ask questions on music directors, singers, etc. So I learned how about music, Hindi film music, for example. So quizzing is exciting. And I'm so glad that all of you are keen quizzers. Quizzing can also change your life, like I said, like it changed mine. So hopefully, out of the 300, 400 students who will participate in Curiosity, many of you guys will have a life-changing experience. So three things I would like you to appreciate. The first, Curiosity is going to be a quiz which tests your overall knowledge. We'll be taking you through the syllabus very quickly. I think lots of questions over here what the syllabus is. So I think Dr. Nitin will take us through the syllabus after we've heard Ambassador Vishnu. The second thought that comes to my mind is, why should I, as a student, do it if I don't win it? And I remember a saying by one of the chief guests who came to my quizzes that it's not about winning or losing, it's about participating. And participating with lots of passion, with a desire to win. And that's the second thing I think which I'm hoping all the students will bring in. Passion for themselves, for the parents, for the school, and the desire to win. The last thing which I'd like to mention over here before I close is really about how important understanding the overall environment is as you grow and become successful in life. And I'd love Ambassador Vishnu to also speak about it. In his journey of his professional career as an ambassador, what was more important? The syllabus that he learned in school or the overall awareness that he had about the world? And I'm sure he'll say that it's about the awareness of the world. And that's what we're going to tickle over the next 20, 25 days. And hopefully a phenomenal finale. My last thoughts are, may the best team win. May the best student win. And for all the others who probably couldn't win, may your journey of quizzing continue. May your journey of curiosity continue. May your journey of understanding the world continue, because the world needs lovely students like you. The world needs smiling students like you. Let's change the world, students. Let's change India, and let's be happy. Thank you very, very much. And over to you, Kuldeep.
Thank you so much, Professor Atul. I think those were precious words. With that, I request our chief guest, Ambassador Vishnu Prakash, to kindly share his experience and share his message to all the students who work so hard, burn their midnight oil, and to all the faculty members who have been helping them to emerge and to win. So over to you, sir, and thank you so much once
Before
again.
Ambassador Vishnu starts, I'd like to mention to all the students and teachers, it's a rare occasion to have someone like Ambassador Vishnu with us. So at the end, I'm going to request you to pose your questions to Ambassador Vishnu, and I'm sure he'll be delighted to answer those questions. Over to you, Ambassador Vishnu.
Thank you very much, Professor Roje. Pro Vice Chancellor Atul Khosla, after your remarks, frankly and with all modesty, nothing much needs to be said. You have absolutely hit the nail on the head by saying what you mentioned, and I particularly like your emphasis on the to learn from the journey called life. And this journey of life, the school that this world offers, so long as one is open to that learning, one can never go wrong. Dr. Nitin Gupta, my partner in crime, friend Vivek Atre, members of the faculty, my young friends, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, namaste. It is a pleasure to be back in Shulini. even if virtually once again. And Curiosity 2020, I am most impressed that Shulini is taking the lead, as usual, in instilling a higher degree of awareness, curiosity, knowledge, and confidence amongst youngsters. The love of quizzing. Uh, there, there'll be, there are very few things which can be as exciting as quizzing. And for you, it is very important as you get ready to fly the nest for higher education in India and abroad. So let me start off by saying two things. One, congratulations for making it this far. And Professor Khosla, let me disappoint you to begin with. I have a confession to make. Unlike you and all you bright quizzers, I was a failure as a quizzer. I did not do well. My mouth went dry, my heartbeat went up, my hands went moist, and the memory file in my genetic CPU became inaccessible. So that has been my record as a quizzer. But that was, while that was a weak spot, I also had a few strengths, and one was the fact that I was quite good in debates and declamations. So I actually genuinely admire all you youngsters, all you bright youngsters who are participating in the quiz today, representing 200 schools. And the very fact that you're flying the flags of your school speaks volumes of your ability. Now, coming back to my own impressions, because I did not do well in quiz, did I despair? Did I feel that something was lacking? That I was inadequate? Yes, there was something lacking, but there was no room for despair. There was no question of despairing. I was fortunate that as a child, I learned that one cannot get everything or be best at everything. I was encouraged, taught by my parents and my teachers to play to my strengths. And also, one very important lesson which I was taught was that success and setbacks, success and failures are two sides of the same coin. And also, it was sobering to realize early on that there will always be a gap, or mostly be a gap, between accomplishments and expectations. The expectations will be already ahead of accomplishments. So with this background, I will say that I have no intention of sermonizing. I remember as a kid, when somebody tried to sermonize me, I waited for him to go home. Instead, I will tell you three stories. The first is about an IB student who was a 4-pointer. She got admission with full scholarship in a leading American university, opted for economics and finance, which were her dream subjects. She always thought she was very good at that. And in the freshman year, from 4.0, her GPA dropped to 2.9. Her father was distraught, gave her a tongue lashing, threatened to pull her out of the American system, because the father knew everything. And she kept on saying that she was not goofing off, that she was dreaming about the subjects, but she realized that it was no longer her cup of tea. She wanted to switch to chemistry and biology. The father, ultimately unhappy but relented. Today, she is a super specialist in infectious diseases in a leading American medical college. And how do I know that the story is true? Yet another confession, my friends. Simple, because she happens to be my daughter and I am the know-all father. One more story. I don't know whether you know of the pop singer whose album is the 8th most watched video on YouTube with 381 crore hits. 3.8 billion hits. His teachers disliked him. He was disruptive. His father hated that he wanted to be a singer. Father was well off, enrolled him in Boston University to do his MBA, but he lost interest and on the sly used the tuition amount to buy musical instruments. When the father got to know and he came back to his country, his father literally picked up a rod and ran after him to kind of chasten him a bit. And then 2012 happened when I was posted in that country, and he hit a jackpot with with an album called Gangnam Style. I don't know whether it rings a bell with you. Within weeks, he became the biggest international pop star South Korea has ever produced. And some of you got it right. His name was Psy. Last story. There was a young man who was in a well-paying position with a hedge fund in New York. One day, he requested his parents to give him a $250,000 loan for setting up a new business. And he told his parents, guys, the chances are that the entire capital will be lost. He himself rated his chances at 30%. His mother remained skeptical and told him, son, please don't quit your job, and suggested that he runs his business on the nights and weekends so that he has a job security. But he quit, moved to Seattle, and started his business in the garage. You know what happened to his business? It's a very small business called Amazon. And he is none other than Jeff Bezos, the richest man on earth with a personal wealth of $200 billion. Now, the question, what is common amongst the three people I spoke about? The young lady, the doctor, the singer, and the entrepreneur. They had self-belief. They had tenacity, they had hard work, and above all, they had a dream. And that's what I want to speak about today. My young friends, dare to dream. You will not be in your teens or 20s forever. It will be there only once in your life. But be realistic, play to your strengths. Pursue your own dreams, not that of anyone else. But you will say easier said than done. And there are three aspects that I want to flag here. First is, do remember priorities, preferences, interests may change, will change over time due to a variety of factors. It is not because people will tell you, oh, you cannot make up your mind, you're fickle. No, you're not. It is a natural progression in your journey to find your groove, your niche. Please remember that only stones remain dormant. What can be a better example of two of the distinguished personalities who are present here? Your own Vice Chancellor, Atul Khosla. Look at his life journey. Look at Vivek Atre, an IAS officer, very well regarded, who has made a switch. Why? Not that they could not make up their mind, but because they had the dare to dream and the courage of conviction. So please, please, please do not be apologetic. You're entitled, and it is natural for you to change your mind and embrace that change. Point number two is be competitive. Give it your best shot to whatever you are doing. I have always reminded myself, accept it or don't accept it, that success is 99% perspiration and 1% inspiration, and there are no shortcuts to success. But also do remember that there are a large number of your peers who are as competitive, as bright as you are. Do you know, for the civil services examination, 1.1 million, 11 lakh candidates appear, each one each better than the other. And only more than 100 or about 100 plus are selected for the IAS and 30 for the IFS out of 1 million. Does it mean that 99,000 youngsters they do not have the caliber or they are not competent? Of course they are. The worst punishment that you can give yourself is to ask, oh my God, why did she make it? Why I did not make it? I mean, there are number of factors, some known, some unknown. I cannot place my finger on all the factors, but these factors include circumstances, nature, nurture, luck, diligence. My message to you, accept it, embrace it, and move on. One of the worst things, and here I'm addressing elders like me, we parents, we teachers, we well-wishers, one of the things that we do out of good intention, inadvertently, but a worst mistake that we commit is to say, oh my God, look at that uncle's or auntie's son or daughter. He or she has done so well, and what about you? Please point out that these are two personalities, you and the person that is being referred to, and everybody has their strong points and weak points. One recommendation, and as quizzes, I'm sure you're already doing that, is to start reading a newspaper. If you do not read, it will come in very handy as you undertake further steps in your long journey in excellence. Start with whatever you want to start with. Last point, and one of the most ticklish issues is, what happens if your dream clashes with that of your parents? Happens very often. Before I say anything, remember that there would be no one else in your life who would have unconditional love for you as your parents. But what should you do? Talk to them, explain your position, give them time to mull over things, walk them through the downside of following a course which does not interest you. Listen to their viewpoint. They are not going against you, but they are of a different generation. I have already told you, confessed, how I reacted to my own daughter despite being a foreign service officer. But take a decision that you're comfortable with. Please tell them, explain to them what will be the impact on you if you were to go contrary against your own preferences. You don't want to live a life with regret that you made a wrong choice. Believe me, if you can, that you are amongst the most fortunate youngsters in the world. You are blessed. Celebrate your blessings. Enjoy every moment. Look ahead with confidence, with hope, with positivity. But remember, there can be only one Prime Minister of India. There can be only one President of India. There can be only one chairman of Samsung. There will be lots of contenders. So the idea is, as Vice Chancellor Khosla said, give it your best shot and may the best person win. And that is what I also want to say. Do very well, enjoy the process, and take back memories, learnings, and hope, which stand you in very good stead as you proceed ahead. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Nothing could have been better than the messages that you have given, the 3 stories. And then apart from that, the interest and the other things would broadly go and change in life. And that normally is something which happens. Very rightly said, it's a stone which remains dormant and rest of the things are bound to change. Let's embrace change. That's one of the learnings which I just got from the wonderful speech that you just gave. We have to be competitive irrespective of what happens next. And very wonderfully put, we have to talk to our parents and convince them because their perspective might be quite different. And at the same time, learning is something, and newspaper is something which comes quite handy to all of us. Celebrate the blessings, be positive, be optimistic. I think you covered each and everything that students would have actually thought of doing. With that, I also request Mr. Vivek Atre to inspire all of you. I've been through his large number of sessions. Each time the students come out of his sessions, they always say, wow, sir, what a wonderful session. Over to you, Vivek, sir. Looking forward
Thank
your
you, Professor
message to the
Kuldeep,
students.
and
Vivek, sorry, I'm
thank you.
interrupting. And before
Yes, Atul.
Vivek, sorry, before you start, there are some messages which say that speak a little in Hindi also. So I'll request you to also address the students a little in Hindi. Sorry for interrupting.
Okay,
Thank you.
no problem, no problem. Thank you, Ambassador Vishnu Prakash ji. You spoke so well, sir, and so much from the heart, so inspirational. I saw a message in the column which said, "Sir, you have inspired me. Now I'll go and win the quiz." So if that can be the inspiration levels, then that is phenomenal. Thank you also, Professor Atul Khosla, for a very inspiring preliminary speech. I will speak in a mix of English and Hindi. But I will start by saying that the very fact that you are participating in this quiz, and I know that schools from all over the region are connected. I have also been in touch with some schools to participate in this quiz. And I understand that people from as far as Rohtak and Amritsar and Shimla and perhaps Kullu and other places are in this quiz. So schools from all over, 220 institutions participating, I must say, is a huge number, a huge task to put them all together. Teachers as well as students who are watching and listening, you could not have had a better introduction and inspiration than what Atul sir and Vishnu Prakash sir gave you. I would only like to add that success and failure, as they said, are imposters. And if they didn't say it, then I'll just add that part to it. And you know what Rudyard Kipling's poem "If" says? I'll just quote Kipling from one of the paragraphs from the poem. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. It's a very inspiring poem. Those of you who haven't read the whole poem, please go back and read If by Rudyard Kipling. And you will understand that to participate, to endeavor, to take part, to make a match of something is what matters. So a team or a player who is just giving his best or her best may win or lose. We've seen several five-setter matches in Wimbledon or US Open or French Open or Australian Open. If you follow tennis, several matches in badminton, PV Sindhu. So many times that the match winner is not the best player or the person who has given his or her best. But ultimately, nothing succeeds like success. So both these facts have to be taken and then you move forward. Success and disaster, or triumph and disaster, are imposters, which means that we take them even mindedly. We are even minded whether we win or lose, but we give our best. We try for success, we try for the very best, the very top, and we don't give up until we reach where we can. So both these factors have to be kept in mind by quizzers who take part in this quiz. I'm not going to give a long speech, but I'm going to shift to Hindi and say कि आप लोग जो इसमें भाग ले रहे हैं क्विज में, ये बहुत बड़ी चीज है. इसकी वजह से आपकी जो पर्सनालिटी वो डेवलप होगी. आप जब क्विज में बैठेंगे ऑनलाइन, आप आंसर्स देंगे, वो चाहे गलत हो सही हो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. आप क्योंकि बात कर रहे हैं, जो आपके मन में है वो बोल रहे हैं, टीचर्स के सामने, ऑडियंस के सामने, फ्रेंड्स के सामने, प्रिंसिपल्स के सामने, वही बहुत बड़ी चीज है. स्टेज पे आना, कैमरे पे आना आजकल और पार्ट लेना पूरी जान के साथ, पूरे पूरे जोश के साथ, वो बहुत आवश्यक है. तो जो इंस्पिरेशन आपको मिला है अभी तक, इस इंस्पिरेशन को भी साथ रखिए और अपनी जो तैयारी है, हार्ड वर्क है, नॉलेज है, उसको भी साथ रखिए. और ये बहुत एक बढ़िया क्विज कंपटीशन है, वेरी वेल डिजाइंड. क्यूरियोसिटी इज अ ग्रेट नेम फॉर अ क्विज कंपटीशन. Shulini University has been doing these kinds of innovative things. So बहुत अच्छा एक अच्छी शुरुआत है. My best wishes और शुभकामनाएं सभी को, and greetings to all those from all the schools who have earlier listened to Atul and me in Ideas That Matter. the series of webinars that took place with all the school principals and teachers. Hello again, once again to all of you. Let's stay in touch and let's inspire these students to work wonders with their lives. All the best and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. Again, I think inspiring words, give your best and don't quit, and a wonderful poem. We always love your messages, always inspiring. I think with that, there are a lot of questions on the chat. बहुत सारे questions in chat में regarding syllabus and other things. And I think in curiosity, the students are curious about the rules and regulations. Well, for that, I request Professor Nitin Gupta and Professor Amar Rao to go ahead and explain the rules and regulations. And simultaneously, we can also have your questions on the chat box so that we are able to answer them. Over to you, Nitin and Professor Rao.
Thank you, sir. So, Professor Rao, can you share the PPT, please? So, hi everyone. I, Dr. Nitin, welcome you all to the Riosity Quiz 2020. I welcome all the teachers, principals, participants of this quiz. So here we will go with the rules and some guidelines that are important for the students. And there are a lot of queries related to the subjects, subject-specific queries, what will be the rounds all about. So let's go through these things. So there are some important guidelines for all the students. That is that all the quiz participants who are participating in the quiz are requested that they should join 20 minutes prior to the event so that we can have a tech check and we can align these students in this simultaneous way in the same manner, right? And then the next thing is that link for the quiz through which you have to join will be shared a day prior to you, right? I request all the teachers and all these participants that please make sure that you get all the emails, and in case you are not getting any email to you from our side, please update so that we can update it through some other mobile number or some other platform, right? And then in case any participants, however, it will not happen, right? In case any participant is not able to join, so that participant will be disqualified from the event. So if you inform us prior to the event, we may plan something for you. But in case we are not informed and the participant doesn't join, then the participant will be deemed as disqualified. In last, all the teachers who are the point of contact for the students are requested that please make sure that there is a good connectivity with the students. All the guidelines will be shared by Professor Rao regarding the connectivity and the hardware required, right? So it is requested that please make sure that participants do have the right connectivity and they all participate. So now we will come to the subject specific rounds that will be there. So there are 4 levels of the quiz. First level is round 1. That will happen with all the schools, all the participants. Then there will be quarter-final and semi-final. For round 1, there will be 6 teams which will be participating in round 1. And out of the round 1, there will be 2 top participants who will go to quarter-final round. And there will be 10 seconds given for each participant to answer the question, right? And there will be 4 rounds. First round will be science and technology round. Then it will consist of 3 questions. Each participants will get 3 questions from science and technology, right? And then there will be next round, which will be GK, sports and Bollywood. And again, 3 questions for each participant. Then the third round will be about the business round, which will consist of again 3 questions. And fourth round will be rapid fire round, where there will be 4 questions and there will be 50 seconds given to the participant to answer each question, all 4 questions, right? And Finally, there will be grand finale. However, the rules for grand finale remain same for as it was in the round one for quarterfinal and semi-final. However, there will be one round extra added for the grand finale, that will be jingle round, and all the questions in all rounds, all levels, will consist of 5 marks each. This is all about the subject specific rounds that you will be getting, and I request you all that prepare well and happy quizzing, right? And now I request Professor Rao to take you through the technical rules.
Okay, Nitin sir, I'm audible? Right.
Yeah.
So technical rules, good afternoon to all of you. Because the technology platform is quite a necessary thing to conduct a quiz, and Shulli University is taking a platform, and we have some recommendation and guidelines so that a smooth conduct of quiz can take place. So these are the guidelines which already sent to all the schools, but I will just repeat it here. A basic hardware you may need to for Curiosity-based quiz. A Pentium 4 or a Pentium i3 processor, most of the schools have it, a 3 GB of RAM, and at least 50 GB of free disk space, because all the quizzes will be conducted online and there will be very kind of space you will be needing in that. Internet access via direct network connection, I will recommend a broadband access. Try to avoid use mobile hotspot, they are very problematic. And sound card and speakers, which are inbuilt in most of the system, you have it, just give a tech check. And operating system, Windows 8 or 10, 7 won't work on that. Microsoft Office 2013 and 2016, or you can have the latest ones. I will specially recommend you should have a web browser, Chrome, but if you have any of these, it will work fine. Firefox, Chrome, Internet Explorer 11, or Microsoft Edge. And please make sure that all the browsers should have cookies and Java enabled. Our tech team will have a tech check with each and every school. The software, which is the requirement here, is that you should have a good microphone or a speaker or a headset, right? And the second is that video conferencing tool, we are going to use Zoom. So this is the download link. Just download the Zoom on your PC or the laptop. And for queries, please feel free to get in touch with Mr. Ankush. He's from the outreach team. His email ID is ankushsharma@shulliuniversity.com. Mobile number is there. The point is that what if any school disconnects? Right now, we will take a 3-minute buffer time. We will wait 3 minutes to rejoin if any school disconnects. But please note that during the ongoing quiz conducted by Shulli University, it will be the sole responsibility of the participating school or the student to maintain the good connectivity for a smooth conduct of the quiz or the rounds. In any case, issue or grievance, please feel free to contact on the given email ID. So thank you. We are welcome to answer your queries.
Thank you, Professor Nitin and Professor Aman Rao. A lot of questions there on the chat. And I think our team Ankush and Shikha, they are already replying to that. Will I pick up some of the questions? One of the questions which I saw was, what is this jingle round all about, which is in the finals? So normally a clip is played, that's an audio clip, and you have to identify either the advertisement to which it belongs, or maybe it's a jingle from one of the leading companies, or you identify the brand. So that's how the jingle normally goes. There was another question as to whether we need Office 2007 and all. So as shared by Professor Rao, Zoom platform is the platform that we are using. That's something that you have to download. There would be a password protected login which will be sent to all of you through our teams. And that's something which would help us. For any more help, please feel free to reach out to our people. You can get in touch with the touch point from the university who is already in contact with your school. Well, business round, somebody talked about as to what is this business round all about. Well, business round again, Ambassador talked about Amazon. So, and he talked about like who started that. So that can be one of the questions. It can be something like the brand or the product belongs to which particular company. It can be around who leads that company. So these, it can be around what are the various brands or what are the various products around that particular company. So that is something which comes from, it can be from economics also. That's all about the business round. The in-depth information about the themes, all this information, all these rules and regulations, they will be shared with each and every individual, every team, every teacher from the schools. Still, in case there are more doubts, please feel free to reach out. We are all there to help you out. Is there any provision for mock quiz also? Not exactly a mock quiz, but to test your technology, whether you're getting connected or not. A separate schedule is going to be rolled out, wherein all of you can test your technology and once get in touch with the university and see whether the platforms are seamlessly working or not. That's something that we'll be doing. So normally the questions would be objective. You'll be asked a question and there'll be certain answers which are there. You have to pick up the right answer. That's something. So can you use a laptop? Can you use a mobile phone? So primarily our request to all of you is to use a laptop or a desktop. It's a stable technology. In case you get disconnected through your phone keeps on moving and all these things. So we are primarily discouraging a mobile phone or any other device which can be a hindrance to your success. So that's broadly, and I think there are a couple of more questions. You will be able to speak answers like, so it's broad, almost like the platform that we are using. There'll be teams, there'll be a quiz master. Quiz master will say, so let's say it says Darshan Public School, the next question is to you. And that's where the team has to answer. So we've thought of everything, we've tested the technology, be assured. I think each one of you will get a fair chance to win. And as we say, may the best team wins. For more questions, you can always reach out to our team. And I think with that, most of the questions have been answered. Some of the
I
other
have
questions.
one question over here, Kuldeep, which was being
Please,
asked.
sir.
When
Please.
is going to be my quiz? When do I get to know? So you might want to answer
Perfect.
that.
Perfect. So the detailed schedule, wherein, because as Dr. Nitin shared, in each quiz, there would be 6 schools who will be participating. So a detailed schedule of when is your turn, it will be shared with you subsequently. An email and a phone call will come from our people to the touch point whosoever is in the school, and that will be done by latest by tomorrow evening. So be assured, Atul sir, I think we have answered that question. So the timings of the quiz, you're absolutely right. A lot of questions coming around timings. So that's something which are there. For any more questions which are there, which are detailed questions, we'll again separately reach out to you. And in case there's something which is left, please feel free. We are all there for anything that you may need. With that, I think I would like to invite Shikha from the Students Acquisition team to please convey a vote of thanks to all the dignitaries, faculty, students, everybody who has been part of this success story that we just had today. Over to you, Shikha.
Thank you, Kuldeep sir. On behalf of entire Shulni family, I express my gratitude to Ambassador Vishnu Prakash for his encouraging words to our young minds. I would also like to thank you, Mr. Vivek Khatri, who is our supporter, mentor, guide, who goes out of the way to make our event so successful. Thank you, Atul sir, for always inspiring and motivating us. And I would like to say thank you to all our Shulini team who has worked so hard to make Riosity Quiz 2020 happen. Last but not the least, I wish to thank each and every student and teacher who is participating in this event today. Remember, students, winning is not important, participation is. Looking forward to the exciting rounds of quizzing. Wishing you all best of luck and happy quizzing. And thank you to Dr. Nitin, Dr. Amar Rao, Dr. Kamal Nath, and all Poonam Nanda ma'am and everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Shikha. With
And
that,
I would like there were a few questions. The students wanted to know that when is the round starting? We're starting from 8th October, and the grouping of the schools have been done randomly. So it is just that we will share your date, your time with you. That is, we can always, and you can all reach us back if you want any help. And a lot of students were asking us that if I don't have a laptop or a PC, so our suggestion is, we have shared with the schools also, that you all can go to your school on your round 1 date and time, and you can participate in that quiz from your school. Thank you.
Thank you, Shikha. And I think with that, it brings us to the closure of today's inaugural ceremony. Once again, thank you, Ambassador Vishnu Prakash. It was wonderful listening to you, as always. Mr. Vivek Atre, thank you so much for joining us. Professor Atul Khosla, Shikha, you, and convey a big thanks to the whole team, Dr. Nitin, Dr. Amar Rao, and everyone who has been part of this journey that we have had so far. We can close for today. For any questions, please feel free to reach out. Your contact points will be all there to help you. See you in the quizzes. Wish you all the best. May the best teams win.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you. So lovely meeting all of you. Bye-bye.